77 WABC and Bergen Newbridge Medical Center honor the life of legendary broadcaster and our friend, Ernie Anastas.
Hi, it's Ernie Anastas. You know, your thoughts can affect how you feel. Bergen Newbridge Medical Center is the largest hospital in New Jersey, providing comprehensive, equitable, compassionate, and high-quality emergency inpatient and outpatient medical care, plus mental health services and substance use disorder treatment. The Bergen Newbridge team can address your total health needs in one convenient location. Call 201-225-7130 for an appointment or newbridgehealth.org.
In the squadron, they called him Bullets, but we call him Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly is on the air
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Settle down, you maniacs. Oh, boy, what a mess. And it's worse than a mess. This isn't just a riot. It's an anti-Semitic, anti-Jewish riot. And you know where these things have led before in history? Gas chambers. It's insane. I can't believe it's happening. Now, I watch it on TV. My next guest actually goes into the middle of the mob to find out the truth. I was watching some of these videos and I saw a 77 flag, Mike flag, right in the middle of it. And Nino DeNino was our social media / all-around great producer here. And that was you. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. I mean, you're shaking up. You were in the middle of a mob yesterday. What happened?
I love it. It's something that just really drives me crazy. I really enjoy going into the middle of it. I love going to protests, especially, reporting for 77 WABC and just having a lot of fun. So what happened was, anytime I go to these protests, it's pretty much happened every single time that I've gone for our station where they see the Mike flag and they actually have started to learn my name. So yesterday, a lot of them were calling me by my name and chirping me. But what the pro-Palestinian side has done more recently is they'll kind of push me a little bit and kind of tug me towards the center of their, what I will call just a group, or you could easily pretty much call a mob if you wanted to. And then they all start to grab my gear and grab my backpack and try to pull stuff away from me in different directions. But of course, I don't stop recording because that's what I'm there for. But yeah, it's definitely a little scary at points. It's extremely exhilarating, but it's my favorite part of the job, I'd say.
Okay. I wish you didn't have to do this part of the job. I wish it didn't exist, these anti-Semitic riots. Listen to this. It's not as loud, but the video is actually scary. They're coming down a very quiet residential street, and they're freaking out the Jewish people who live there. Cut 15. Knocking on their doors, beating drums. I try to imagine a crazy mob coming down 3rd Street in Garden City, where I grew up, or Sprague Street in Baldwin. So listen, all right, before you tell me before I learn more about your personal experience, what the hell is like the overarching thing? Who's there? Why are they there? And did they get permission to be there?
Yeah, so what I'll say is, for the side of the pro-Palestinian people, from what I've seen the past couple of protests, it's mainly the same exact people over and over again. And I've recognized these people even for the past 2 months, even for the vigil that was held a couple months ago, but it's really the same people on the pro-Palestinian side. And what they do is for the side of the pro-Israel, it's never really the same people. Because what happens is these pro-Palestinian protesters will go to different parts of New York where they know that there's an increase in like a Jewish population. And you can really tell that because at the end of the protest, we walked for 5 hours yesterday around blocks of this neighborhood, and it ended at a subway station. And of course, everybody on the pro-Palestinian side got on the subway and left the neighborhood. And you know who was there just left? All of the Israelis or the Jewish people.
But they live there.
Exactly.
So how many people are we dealing with? And by the way, I call them pro-terrorists. All right. I mean, Palestinian. This is for me, not a he said, she said kind of a thing.
Yeah. Hundreds of people flooding the streets.
Well, wait. So the people you recognize, there are a lot of them, right? But it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
And they're being funded by?
I wish I could tell you. I don't know yet, but I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it at some point.
What about this? Do you sense, like, the police? What is their role in all of this? What I see is illegal. I see some skirmishes between cops and these rioters, but I don't see arrests. I don't see much in the way of organization and crowd control. I don't see, hey, get the freaking hell out of the road. You don't belong here. Yeah. Is it a hands-off approach?
I would say it seems like they want to be hands-off. It seems like no one wants to be there. Nobody wants to deal with it because at this point, it's just a lot of, I'll call them troublemakers that, you're right, do just go out there and try to skirmish and try to start fights in the streets. And it's both sides that really sit there and try to start fights. But, at the same time, it's one side's neighborhood. Right, and it's the other side who's just coming in there, coming on a subway, jumping off and causing havoc for 6 hours.
Well, I wonder now. Well, so what are we going to do? What are we going to do? They don't want to be there. I mean, let me ask you this. Have the Jewish residents expressed frustration with the cops who are not doing more?
Yeah, but
you said 100%. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, they love the cops. They made it. I've heard 1,000 times last night. Oh, we love the NYPD. Thank you guys so much for coming out in here. But at the same time, they also want more to be done because, there's the question. Yes, people have the right to protest, but do people have the right to disturb neighborhoods for 6 hours, on a random Monday night? No,
they don't. And you don't have, because it's against the First Amendment. You peaceably assemble. What about this scene in front of the synagogue?
Yeah, I mean, they were standing outside in front of a synagogue. At one point, 30 of them got down, took their shirts off, threw it all in a circle or in a line. They stood in a line, and then they got down praying in front of the synagogue. And that's when they circled me and harassed me, because they told me that I was bothering them, but I was just standing there recording.
Now, this is something to think about, and I don't fault you for doing what you do. We need it, but it's something to think about. Some of these people are there because you're there, and they're going to get coverage. If they didn't get the coverage... And this has been a long time for a lot of people who go out and cause commotion. They want legacy media coverage. They want social media coverage. Have you ever thought about that?
That's what I thought about that last night, because when they got down praying, they started to surround me and said, get out of here. They're trying to pray. And I was like, I asked the guy, I said, wait a minute, isn't this a demonstration? Don't you want this broadcasted? And they said, no, we don't. So I said, so then what are you trying to do? You can't tell me that you want to come here in the middle of Brooklyn, start a protest, or what a lot of people would call riots, walk around for 6 hours, and then get mad when I go there to record it. That doesn't make any sense. Well, why else would you be doing it?
They're praying in the middle of the street.
Yeah. Shutting down blocks of Brooklyn.
The following is a paid issue advertisement.
If the vote count is accurate, then how come the number of voters is different? And if it's not accurate, then why was it certified? We are suing Letitia James and the New York State Board of Elections for a conspiracy against fundamental rights. This is not about who won. It's not about what party. It's about the fact that they don't care about your rights.
Paid for by RealAmerica.vote, a DBA of New York Citizens Audit Civic Fund, Incorporated.
Go to RealAmerica.vote.
Well, all right. Now, there's something else also. Like, these guys who go into the mob, sometimes, we know it's good content. We know we're going to watch, but what is actually being done? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, hate has to be documented, but at the same time, I've wondered if there were no cameras, would there be protesters? And I've also wondered, like, let's face it, pushing and shoving and stuff like that. People like to click on it. How much of this is clickbait? You yourself say you enjoy it. I'm not faulting you. I know that you're an adrenaline junkie, and that makes you a good journalist, but we got to start thinking about these things.
Yeah, 100%. I agree, but I also think, who knows, maybe it would be worse without cameras, right? Like we saw, the race riots in Newark, horrendous. Not really many cameras covering stuff like that. And at the same time, these people...
Are you talking about the one in the 60s or more recently?
Back in the day when there were no cameras and stuff like that. But even now, it's very odd because one side is covering their face and doesn't want to be shown on camera, whereas the other side loves it and they're saying, "I love America. I love being Jewish. I love New York. I love Brooklyn. And look what they're doing to our neighborhoods."
Well, I tell you what, Commissioner Jessica Tisch, is that the name, right? You got the cool job, and that's all. You don't seem to want to break a sweat. All right, you don't seem to really want to roll up your sleeves and keep people safe. You say you do, and you say these things, and you say about community, and you say about, oh, isn't it great that you have a Jewish leader in me, but you're not leading, all right? You're going along to get along with a crazy mayor, and, you're actually closing doors on your future, all right? Because this legacy is going to follow you, and we're not going to forget. This is inadequate. It's totally inadequate. These people deserve so much more. And by the way, not for nothing, the prices they're paying. Nino, where are you from?
I'm from Jersey.
Where?
Morris County. I'm from Jefferson Township.
And did you go to college?
I went to Montclair State University.
Montclair State. A lot of people go there. It's a bargain, too, right?
It is.
It's not bad. All right. Keep up the great work. Be careful out there. All right?
Thank you.
He plunges right into these crazy crowds. One of these days, some idiot with a knife, right?
100%. Yeah, it's scary. It's very scary.
Why does everybody your age say 100% all the time? Who started that? Somebody started that. 100%. 100%. I've been hearing it now for about 10, 15 years. It's not brand new, but anyway, it's cool.
100%.
There he goes. Nino DeNino. How do we follow you and all of our platforms on the social?
Yeah, so you can find us. We post most of our content on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at 77 WABC Radio. 77 WABC Radio on all the platforms. Nino, thank you. All right, there he goes. 100%. Bye. So, what do we think? Yeah, I remember there was a long time ago I saw a cartoon in the New York Times back when it wasn't crazy. And it was back when we had Howard Beach and those riots, right? And they had a sketch of two men fighting, a black man and a white man. And guess what was behind them? Like, behind one was a giant microphone pushing his back to fight with the other one. And behind the other one was a giant pencil and the point pushing on his back to fight with the other one, right? Print and broadcast kind of instigating these fights. And I'm not saying, it's something to think about. It's something to try to, what is the role here? Right now, I think this stuff needs to be seen everywhere. Because it's happening and it ain't going away. And we have a very anemic response from the people who should be going in there and, quite frankly, busting ass, right? Arresting people. Put them in the paddy wagon. Whatever happened to the paddy wagon? I'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to The Greg Kelly Show. You can hear The Greg Kelly Show weekdays at 12:15 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?